Good insert time of day it is when you're watching this. Everyone, it's TJ Toad 40. I've been really busy lately and have not had much of a chance to keep making videos, so I apologize to the subscribers who came in after my last video on the populations of Mario cities. If you haven't watched that, I do recommend it. The guy who made it really is a charming fella. Anyway, I decided I'd do a lower effort type video because I wanted to give the channel some attention, so today we're going to read some awful Metacritic reviews of Mario Kart World. I am a big Mario Kart World supporter, so this is going to be something. Let's get into it. Alright, we are here on Metacritic, looking at Mario Kart World reviews. I have it sorted by negative reviews only, so if you're seeing a lot of negative reviews in a row, then that's why. It's not because absolutely everyone hates this game. It's actually majority, if you look here, it's majority positive reviews, but the negative reviews are so negative that we've only got a 6.9. We gotta get that up. I think there are a lot of review bombers and also a lot of Sonic fanboys who are tanking it for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. First up, we have Mr. Fox, that's how I'm going to pronounce that, says, incredibly overpriced, slow and boring, nothing to progress towards, online intermission races are a waste of time. Did I mention it's slow and boring? Mario Kart 8 is still the best option. I will not be bashing Mario Kart 8 in this video, so I will not be talking about that point, because I still think Mario Kart 8 is a fantastic game. I do think Mario Kart World is better. I don't think the game is overpriced. I don't think it's overpriced. I think it's just Mario Kart, except with a lot more and a lot better, a lot more refined. I think $20 is not a big deal, but I am a competitive Mario Kart player. It's only slow and boring if you are skill issue and don't know how to play the game. There is still obviously item play, even if you don't know the shortcuts, and there are shortcuts that a lot of people can do. Not all of them are that difficult. Nothing to progress towards is a weird one for me. It's Mario Kart. We play Mario Kart to play the races. It's not meant to be a single-player game, and if you were hoping that it was gonna be a game about unlocking characters or about beating levels, that's just not what Mario Kart is. I think that there's never been more to progress towards in any Mario Kart game before this, and also people are complaining about the way that you unlock characters for it being tedious. I don't feel like nothing to progress towards is a real claim, because they tried to make their things to progress towards, and people hate that too. Online intermission races are a waste of time. They're fixing that. So the online intermission races, I don't think intermission tracks are that bad. Sue me. If you're playing online, they're not good, because if you're playing online, then obviously you're like trying to win, and it's a more competitive atmosphere. But when I play intermission tracks, like against my friends, not all of my friends are as good at Mario Kart as I am. Intermission tracks give them a chance, and it focuses more on item play, and it's a good way to have fun with friends. Mario Kart is a more fun game if you have friends. That might be a recurring theme that we're going to see in this video. From Paislaw 19, unbelievable price considering the lack of basic features. The open world, quote, quests feel like work and are usually not very fun. Intermissions, expletive, deleted. I'm not going to talk more on intermissions. I feel like I've said my bit on that, at least for now. Unbelievable price considering the lack of basic features. You didn't mention any of the basic features that you think this game is lacking, Paislaw. Like, I don't feel like it is lacking those basic features. It has good tracks, it has good characters, it has good mechanics. I don't know what basic features you think it's missing that have been present in other Mario Kart games, and if they haven't been present in other Mario Kart games, then, like, you don't like Mario Kart, and I think you're in a minority in saying that. Open world quests feel like work. I don't agree. You also don't have to do the open world quests, right? If you think a quest is boring, don't do it. I like exploring the open world. I don't even think it needs the quests, but I think the P-Switch missions are fun, and they were good to, like, get to know the mechanics of the game, like when I first started playing. Now we got Swinogrodsky, that's a fun one to say. Don't get me wrong, this game has very nice graphics, almost no bugs, is a very nice and quality piece of software. Nevertheless, it is simply boring. There is no progression system at all. Man, again with the fucking progression system. I'm sorry, I don't understand. It's a Mario Kart game. It's not Breath of the Wild on wheels, it's a game about racing, you know? We're not here to play something single-player, and I think they've enhanced the single-player experience by adding more things to it, but it is still not inherently a single-player game. You can gather stuff, but there's nothing to be achieved. Everything that could be achieved is achieved in the first 2 hours of gameplay. Well, there's winning races. Remaining stuff is some pointless stickers, etc., which make absolutely no sense. Why not? They're stickers. After 5 to 10 hours, this game became so boring and pointless to me that I deleted it and never even felt like re-downloading it. Whoa! So we're gonna go on Metacritic for a game that we played less than 10 hours of. Did you even give the game a fucking chance? You played it for 5 hours. I think there should be a minimum amount of time for you to give a review. That's ridiculous. There's no additional tracks, modes, skills, upgrades, literally nothing awaiting you. For starters, the Special Cup is unlockable, and also, it's a Mario Kart game. Mario Kart isn't a game that was meant to be played purely in isolation, and you need to let it be the game that it's supposed to be, or you're not going to enjoy it. Ooh, I don't get Nintendo fanboys. Honestly, it's the same with Mario Kart 8, which is even more pointless because you play just to play. Yes, that is what happens in Mario Kart. You play to play. Sir, are you familiar with the concept of games? There's even less progression than here. There's absolutely nothing to be gained from playing. There's playing. If I'm not even gonna read the rest of this. If playing isn't something to be gained from playing, then maybe Mario Kart's not your thing, Swingrodsky. I don't know what else to tell you. Moving on, we've got Exultant Otter gave it a 4. As a lifelong Mario Kart enjoyer, I just plain do not find myself having fun playing this game. My main complaint is that the community has overwhelmingly spoken with outreach and data that they prefer loops tracks to the new open-world Drive 2 races, and in response, development team changed the online formula to force more Drive 2 races. I will say Nintendo is Exultant Otter raises a fair point that Nintendo did go against the community's wishes in the way of the intermission tracks. I will say, we have the Mario Kart World Discord server. The Mario Kart World Discord server, it's a Discord server, and you can log on to it. It's free to join, and you play in friend rooms, where you can just pick the track that you play. So there are a bunch of threads open where you can see room codes, and you can join those rooms and play. I honestly thought Nintendo had ruined the game the first time that intermission update came out. We all did. And then I started playing in that Discord server, and it fixed it. The game went from a 6 to a 10 that easily. I think that if you are frustrated by the intermission tracks and you are not part of that Discord server, you are doing yourself a disservice. I will link it in the description. Please join the Mario Kart World Discord server. Alright, next up we've got like a series of unrelated points from DVD93. Let's do this shit one at a time now. Removing characters like me, Koopalings, Animal Crossing, Link, and Inkling NPC characters make no sense. The non-Mario characters, so Animal Crossing, Link, and Inkling, losing them doesn't bother me at all. We have Smash for our crossover game. Not everyone gets to be part of Mario. Not everyone needs to be part of Mario. Saying that you're not going to like the game if the characters who explicitly do not belong in that game are not in that game, weak argument. I loved the Miis when they were on the Wii, but I think they made more sense when they were on the Wii. You know, they were named for it after all, so we're starting to lose out on them. The Koopalings, I will give you the Koopalings. I think the Koopalings would have been fun to see. I see how if you were a Lemmy main, that could be frustrating, but they're not the biggest Mario characters out there, so them being snubbed doesn't bother me. Saying the NPC characters don't make sense, that really pisses me off. The way that Nintendo was integrating their, like, iconic characters, because, alright, I grew up with some of the newer ones, you know, like, I grew up playing 3D World, and that means Conqueror and Stingby, right? The way that they have impacted, like, my gaming experience is probably similar to the way that Goomba and Koopa Troopa impacted the gaming experience of people who played before, and so having those underrepresented enemy characters, I'm not going to call them NPC characters because you play as them in the game, so calling them NPC doesn't make sense to me. But I think that those characters do add to the game. It's a big part of Mario's energy and Mario's outreach, where it has so many characters. And I think they're playing into that very well when you add the enemy characters. So I really like the enemy characters. I think it's Bitty Bud's time to shine, and ain't nobody gonna fucking stop her. Intermissions are boring. I've spoken on that already. I think intermissions do have their place in this game. I was playing against one of my friends the other day, and my friends are not as good at Mario Kart as I am. And what I was doing on the intermission tracks is I was trying to invent new shortcut text, because it's a game about creativity, and it's a game about exploring, and I think that making your own shortcuts, the intermissions give you good chances to do that. Removing regional and worldwide, and removing player flags. Those are both irrelevant. I never used regional in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't know what it even really did, to be honest, so maybe it was fantastic, maybe it was phenomenal, and I'm not the right person to speak on that, but it wasn't something that ever caught my attention. Removing player flags, like, I don't know, do we really need to, like, dox people for being from the UK? The fact that that's something you mentioned in your 4th talking point on this game is, like, really? And it's not like it gets, more relevant. The next one that we're going to go to is removing split laps in time trials. Seriously? Were you someone who did, like, single lap world records? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't care about single lap world records. Next point, 24 players make the game too chaotic and nobody wants to play this mode. I don't think nobody wants to play that mode because it wouldn't be a problem if no one wanted to play it. The problem is that 24 people want to play it. I think Mario Kart was better with 12 players, but Mario Kart World has actually made item spam less of an issue by making the item draws more mushroom-focused. Less red shells in second place, too, like, that's a big one. That makes front-running much more viable. So I think the 24 players is not as big of a problem to me because Nintendo has done things to counteract what that adds into the game. No jukebox in a game that has over 200 songs remade from scratch. Way to turn one of the objectively best things in any video game into a bad thing. The Mario Kart World soundtrack deserves no shit from anyone. Go on YouTube if you want to listen to the fucking songs. They're there. Maybe they're not there legally, but they're there. I don't see how this is a problem. Unbalanced objects. Coin block in first place when you have 20 coins, triple reds when you are in second, blue shell is too punitive. Triple reds in second isn't something that happens ever. I don't think I've ever seen that once. At least not, like, if you're playing against one other person, then sure, it's possible if they fall far enough behind. But triple reds in second are... I don't think that's ever happened. The blue shell does hit hard. It's Mario Kart. Like, get Mario Karted. That's the fucking game. Lakitu catches you in absurd spots, making the game extremely punishing. Roll a shortcut clip. I mean, how is that Lakitu catching you in absurd spots? Like, there's so much out of the way that you can explore in this game. It's the least punishing Lakitu has ever been in a Mario Kart. You're not right in the head. Free roam is okay, but many areas are empty. What was the real purpose of making a half-empty world? Is it half-empty? Like, I wouldn't call it empty. They have the... If you don't like the P-switches and the question panels and the Peach medallions, that's one thing, but I wouldn't call the world empty. I think it has plenty going on, and you can also explore, and you can also take pictures. I love taking pictures. There is plenty of things to do in the free roam, and free roam is also, worth noting, a side mode. We're talking about a racing game here, so I think it's worth noting that there are some expectations that I think have come with free roam that it didn't deserve, and that's why people think free roam is failing. Finally, we're going to end on this one from Lucas CP17. This $80 game is a joke. It's just the same old formula being sold over and over again, but this time for a ridiculously high price. The old Nintendo studio that we used to love doesn't exist anymore. I don't think that old Nintendo studio ever actually did exist. Here's the thing. As we all get older, we become more and more in tune with that corporate side of gaming, and we see the companies making these decisions for their own benefit, not ours, and we're associating our favorite things with the bad guys who are making us pay more for our favorite games, and that means that we start to sour our opinions of it based on the fact that we don't like the people who make it. And I think that you're glorifying what Nintendo never was. Nintendo's always been a shit company with shit business practices, and there's no way to fix that. It's Mario Kart, and it's actually a very new Mario Kart. I wouldn't say it's the same old formula, and I think that saying that you used to love the way Nintendo did business is just because you didn't know how Nintendo has always done business. Well, I hope that was entertaining. I've never made a video like that before, so We'll see. At the end of the day, I think the biggest flaws with Mario Kart World are at worst minor and otherwise non-factors. Free roam is a side mode, this game is as forgiving on first-timers as it gets, this game is as clean for competitives as it gets, and I don't get any hate against the character roster. Sure, Link is cool, but if you have a problem with Mario Kart that doesn't align itself with either Mario or Kart, I can't justify it. Join the Mario Kart World Discord server, link in the description, play some Mario Kart, ignore the haters.